Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Today we have a huge, significant update in the legal world with immigration. Of course, that's all we're really talking about here on this channel, Green Card Guy, greencardguys.tv. Sorry, my voice is every time I go live, my voice cracks up on me. Um, hey, not everything can be perfect in life. Just do what you can, roll with the punches. All right. Hey, what's going on? Nice to see you. Give you a little wave there. So I'm live now today. We had to change the topic actually. We were originally going to talk about administrative processing where people are stuck, but I talk about that every day, right? So let's talk about something different. There's another situation where people are stuck in court. Now, most people, I think most people in the U.S. immigration system forget about people being stuck in court. We talked about prosecutorial discretion. That, of course, these conservative states unfortunately sued the White House, Biden administration, to say, hey, actually, don't worry about your enforcement guidelines. Let's just go ahead and mess you up and don't have any guidelines at all. Don't have any priorities. Well, the White House knows that you have to have priorities, enforcement priorities, because there's a lack of personnel, just like in the private sector, right? So they have to be efficient. And of course, not trying to blame a party because, it's politics. It's always a blame shifting situation. But hey, today is a new update. Most of y'all don't know this, but the Attorney General, even some lawyers don't know this. The Attorney General of the United States can direct immigration judges to do something different. So back when this has been highlighted even more, Thank you so much for the comments, as your questions in the comment section. I'll definitely try my best to get to that after the topic of today. But today's topic is, can I get my case dismissed with a new legal update from Attorney General Merrick Garland? Which, by the way, fun fact, when Merrick Garland his name got in the news before, when President Obama was in office, was because President Obama nominated him, nominated him to be a justice of the Supreme Court. But that was stopped by the Republicans in office. And unfortunately, I guess for better or worse, now he's Attorney General, now that Biden's in office. So anyways, Attorney Generals, there's there's only one for the United States, okay? And he or she can direct U.S. immigration judges to take certain action or don't take certain action. Now, for example, when this is brought up in the news, when it was President Trump in office, is that he directed Jeff Sessions to tell judges not to close out cases, not to even administratively close cases. As you can imagine, actually, people in general, right? You want to try to get an immigration benefit, a green card, and eventually U.S. citizenship. Most people talk to us and say, why the heck is there such a long backlog in court cases? Whether you're conservative or liberal, it doesn't matter about political lines there. It's about government efficiency. So even when people were, waiting 2-3 years, we just had a new client a couple of months ago, last week, a couple of weeks ago, and we attended a court remotely. Fortunately, they had, WebEx is what they use. And the judge didn't like this person is actually a new judge the last couple of months. Judge didn't like that his case has actually been part of the court record since 2014. And this person's court hearing, it was his second one ever. Okay. So what is that? If my math is correct, that's 8 years. So this is a huge problem with the immigration court system. You would think, again, I'm citing this again, of course, everyone thinks the U.S. is the number one superpower, but that does not mean that they're efficient. Okay, so maybe it's done that way intentionally. I don't know. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining us live on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. It's kind of crazy that there's so many different social media platforms, but I'm kind of interested to see how many people, what people prefer. But anyway, especially with new things popping up, like TikTok, who does that thing? But if you're on TikTok, go ahead and join me on Green Card Guys _John. You can follow me there. It's just another way for us to share more information that can be helpful for you to solve your immigration problem and hopefully to prevent one from happening in the first place. Now, thanks for tuning in. If you're new to our channel, welcome. greencardguys.tv. We do offer free 15-minute preliminary discussion. You can just go to our website, greencardguys.com, and it'll take you there. And what you do, and you follow me on TikTok already? That's cool. I try not to dance too much. Actually, I don't think I've danced. I need to do that soon. My team is telling me I need to step it up. Yeah, they tell me I need to step it up. Maybe I need to do the Texas two-step. Oh man, I just told myself I was going to dance. All right. So anyways, people who are stuck in court, you might not be in this situation, but for those who are that please share this video with them or our channel and bookmark it to save it or share it with them later, because people have a court case and they might have like an application, a petition, I-130 sent to USCIS. And it might already be approved, right? Approval of the I-130 or even I-140 if you got sponsored by work. But the more common situation is sponsored by a U.S. citizen. Now, I would argue that actually, if you have a petition approved by a resident as a sponsor, you're married to a resident, the visa bulletin is current. So if you're in that situation also, and whether or not you've tried to get your case closed out in court, try again. This is the time, because immigration judges, whether they're like more seasoned, more experienced in that sense. I don't want to say older, but hey, Anu, what's going on? Good morning to you. My name, what's it called? So yeah, if you didn't know this, a lot of people have been stuck in this scenario because they filed it. We've had some cases stuck in that situation. Like I remember we went to court before the pandemic and I asked for dismissal, and a new judge, I think she was brand new, like maybe her second week, unfortunately, in our situation. She was just not comfortable closing out the case, dismissing it. And we had ample evidence, a lot of evidence that our clients were married legitimately. Okay. No, they did not find each other on Tinder. So you can drop in the comments your favorite dating app, because a lot of folks are looking for a companion. Okay. I don't know if Tinder is considered a place to find a companion, but short term or long term, I don't know. I got married before all that stuff was available. So thankfully I didn't have to, deal with that stuff. What's the other one? Coffee meets bagel. But I think that's tied in with your Facebook or something. Anyway, long story short, you got, if you're not in a relationship, yeah, it is tough. It is tough to find someone the right fit. Okay. So stuff like this silly stuff I'm talking about, you can find that on TikTok. Okay. I'm just going to type it in here. Green Card Guys _John. You can find me there on TikTok, and let me share this with you. Okay. This update is critical. It's just as important as prosecutorial discretion. Okay. Because even with prosecutorial discretion, that's really from the Department of Homeland Security perspective, because they're the one that charged this allegation that you're here in the United States without status, right? If they're not involved, then you wouldn't have been in court in the first place. So that's the prosecutorial PD is more so for DHS. Now, this legal update as of yesterday, and on YouTube, I can share my screen and share that. Of course, I just had a client meeting actually, and I was telling them I love to share updates, okay, or share my source, because there's a lot of y'all not y'all, but there's a lot of dependency on even before YouTube and all this stuff is, you rely on lawyers, right, to tell the truth, of course, but you're still wondering, for example, what's the source, right? So I love to share it because I don't, you're gonna probably gonna pay some attorney fees, and let's see here, depending on that, right? So you might as well get to have the source. So let me share it with you. Okay, so on YouTube and Facebook, I can share it. And I don't want to read the whole thing to y'all, but okay, this is basically changing the law from what President Trump had changed just like a few years ago. And it says, of course, pending the outcome of rulemaking process. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it permanent, just like they did with DACA. They're trying to make it permanent. Finally, I don't know why President Obama didn't make DACA permanent, technically. So you go with this rulemaking process. But aside from that, immigration judges and Board of Immigration Appeals, which is the higher level, okay, above immigration court, they can consider and where appropriate grant termination or dismissal of removal proceedings. Removal proceeding is a legal fancy word for deportation proceedings. Okay, and proceedings also means court. Okay, they can consider it in certain types of limited circumstances, such as where a non-citizen, so a undocumented foreign national immigrant, has obtained legal permanent residence after being placed in removal proceedings. Okay, so that means that step number one, you're already in court. Okay, you have received the paper to appear in court called notice to appear, NTA at the top, notice to appear. Try not to lose it, please. Scan it. Okay, with technology these days and like Dropbox on your phone, or just take a picture, you can do that. I mean, if you have the iPhone, if you don't have an iPhone, I really recommend trying to consider getting that, because I was completely on Android for a long time, and I realized how the Apple system. Anyway, long story short, technology is available, so don't lose your doc. If you're gonna lose your documents, at least scan it, take a picture, okay? Because it just makes it more difficult for your lawyer if you can't find it. It takes a much longer time to get those documents, okay? So they're saying in this scenario, when you already had removal proceedings, deportation proceedings, and then you got married, and then you file a petition, and then you get it approved, and maybe you get the residency status. Most likely not, though, because USCIS in general, at least before this decision, they would not make a decision on your 485 application for residency, because they know in the system shows that you have immigration court. So hopefully they update this on their side of things, USCIS agency. But when that's possible, you want to definitely. So in this situation, it's basically telling immigration judges you don't have to rely on the Department of Homeland Security, aka the lawyers, attorneys for the government in this scenario. Okay, you don't have to depend on the DHS to join the motion to dismiss. The judges can grant the motion to dismiss, even if your private attorney filed it for you. Now, look, you can file your own motion. I wish you the best. But a lot of us lawyers talk with each other, and then we find out, especially if you have a motion to reopen situation where you need to file that, you really only have one chance. The law actually says you have one chance, okay, for that situation when your case is already closed out. All right. Hey, they appreciate the follow on TikTok. I'm still trying to figure it out. That thing's just, TikTok's crazy, but I'm assuming the U.S. government's going to ban it eventually. I could be wrong. Could be wrong, but hopefully they don't. Hopefully they stop using our data. So anyway, we got to use a social media engine for better or worse so we can share information post pandemic. But anyway, that's really what it is right there. Okay, so they can close out. The outcome is, the benefit of doing this is so you can close out, basically like vacate, close out your immigration court case so that you could proceed to the next step with USCIS to have them approve or at least consider your application for residency. Okay. Now, of course, just getting your case dismissed in court and approved, granted by a judge, does not mean it's going to approve your application for adjustment of status. In the legal world, for lawyers, we call it jurisdiction. Okay, so think about like two different pods. In pod A, judges felt like their hands were tied. They couldn't make a decision on your application to or motion for dismiss because they always felt like there's like this like camaraderie thing with immigration judges and Department of Homeland Security attorneys. It just was it's annoying to all of us immigration attorneys because we're like, why does it matter what the Department of Homeland Security thinks? Because immigration judges, 99.9% of the time, at least before this new announcement, they always 99.9% of the time, ask the Department of Homeland Security, what's your stance on this? What does it matter? Come on, judge, just approve the dang thing. I hope they're watching. I hope at least one judge is watching right now. Just approve the dang thing. Like, what does it matter what the government thinks? Are you going to rely every time on the government, on the Department of Homeland Security attorneys? Half the time, some of these attorneys they don't even know about the case, which is understandable because they have so many cases they have to like review, right? So they review cases on the spot. So if you're considering to hire a lawyer, does not have to be our team, okay? Let me take this off the screen on YouTube and Facebook. It does not have to be our team, but if you want your best chance, hey, appreciate the love. That reminds me, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, if you don't mind, if you enjoy our channel, you enjoy how we share information, it does take a lot of my time, but I really consider like know your rights, share information. Please smash a like button, hit the hearts, okay? And that shows me that you guys care about this stuff, okay? I know there's so many attorneys are sharing information, but we all have a different way of presenting it. And things like this, I get so excited, okay? Because it can help you if you're in a situation. It can help you. So again, it does not matter if you hire our law firm or someone else. It is all good. You just need to take the next step, okay? Because this change happened today or yesterday, November 17th, 2022. And I hate to say this, we just finished the midterm elections and you don't know what's going to happen in 2 years, okay? You really don't know what's going to happen in 2 years with the general presidential election. Hey, love the hearts. Appreciate it. Love the likes. Thank you so much. Sorry, Anu, I will get to your questions very soon. I see your comments. But yeah, you guys need to take advantage because I think there's an assumption that President Trump assumed that he was going to get reelected, and because, traditionally, a president, if they get elected for one term, they're going to get elected for the second term. But anyway, that clearly did not happen. Okay. And, I don't even know if Biden wants to run again. So the thing is, if you know a U.S. citizen, really encourage them to vote. Please remind them. Okay. Don't tell them who to vote for. You probably will, but, they just need to go out to vote. Okay. Because this next election in 2 years is going to probably change this law again. Okay. They're probably going to have what Jeff Sessions did 4 plus years ago. So here's the deal. Y'all need to take action. Okay. If you're not married to someone, maybe you have an immediate relative classification petition approved anyway. Not saying you got to get on Tinder or any of those apps, but you want to find the right match. Good luck to you. I really encourage you. A lot of good fortune and good luck on that. But you got to get if you do get married, on a serious note, at least don't enter into a fake marriage. You might not get into a right fit, but don't get into a fake marriage, please. There are so many. There's the negative consequence that you probably already know is that you are permanently barred from getting immigration benefit again if USCIS determines that you enter to a fake marriage. Okay. On that notice of decision, they'll put in finding of marriage fraud. You could get divorced, but you get married, but that doesn't mean, and the government will accept your money if you refile an application, a petition, okay, and adjustment status. But and you might have a baby with the second spouse, that by itself is not going to make, change the decision from the first marriage or the prior marriage that was fake. So please, I really encourage you not to enter into a fake marriage. It can really significantly affect your immigration stat or ability to get immigration status here in America. Okay, I gotta answer this thing from Anu on YouTube. By in by Indian culture, Tinder's for people having fun. Is that true? Having fun? And don't think too much about what if things get serious. Just friendship for now. Laws in U.S. is different. Nothing is called friendship. It's called regulars. Gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, yeah. And I wonder in Indian Anu, Indian culture. Please answer me this in the comments if you're still on. Is Indian culture like, especially if you're in India, okay? What happens culturally if someone does not decide to not get into an arranged marriage? I'm actually interested in that. What happened? Is there like I hope this doesn't happen. I hope no one is disowned or anything like that, but I really wonder. But let's see. Back to Instagram. I see some questions. Thanks for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate it. Greatness. How does an immigration judge ask a Department of Homeland Security attorney? It's just on the spot. When we have at least back in the day, well, even in remote world, in video conference, let's say I mail in or electronically file the motion. I give it to, email it to the government lawyer as well. And then come day at court, the judge would just ask, hey, government, if it didn't say joint motion, they would ask, hey, government attorney, trial attorney, what's the government's position on this? And maybe they say unopposed. That's a great thing. Unopposed is the best answer for us, because they might not join it. It's like two levels: joint, unopposed, or oppose it completely. So it's really three main options there. And so what we look for is unopposed or joining our motion. But for us, our team, we really do our best to ask the government's position also to see if they join it, because it can make it stronger in light of this new update by Attorney General Merrick Garland. And let's see here. Let me see if I hope I answered your question there. Oh, you're from Bangladesh. Oh, sorry, I wasn't referring to you as Indian. I just was referring to Anu on YouTube. Okay, sorry, I wasn't trying to make any assumptions. Okay, YouTube. Let's see. Okay, Anu, your question is, yeah, administrative processing. Tough thing going on right now. 221G. Your green form's fixed. You did the H1, H4. Okay, great. An officer can add more documents with pen. It's an RFE at consulate window. RFE with right to go. It goes silent infinitely. Yeah, it does go silent, unfortunately. I don't know if that was a question, but it seems like you're just sharing information. Yeah, I wonder how it goes like that. And an Indian, is it New Delhi that you're at, or another consulate? I'm interested because in some consulates they mail it in. Okay, so which is annoying. What they need to do, I don't know if it's all like this for all consulates, but when they have a 221G, they don't always email it. They say, go pick it up. And you might live so far away from the pickup location. So it's ridiculous. And then it's another 221G, for example. So, okay, I don't know. Your other question is, by the way, Apita, I do have, Anu and Apita and whoever's the South Asian culture. I have so many questions because I do help out a nonprofit in Houston that they help domestic violence survivors when people have been abused, and so I help out on that side. And unfortunately, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share this yet, but it's just because of the traditional mindset, I guess, of the older generation. both sides, your own parents and in-laws, like force you to stay together in the marriage. So if this resonates with you, please hit the like button and the thumbs up, because we really need to work together to change that mindset. Okay. We need to help people to be free. Okay. I know that, I mean, even in Asian culture, I know that there's this like, I don't want to call it the devil, but like something right here or in the mind is like, forcing you to stay married. Now, for me, it's all, I've helped over 100 people for divorces. Sorry, this is a tangent, but this is very important. I've helped over 100 people with divorces. I do not advertise for divorce. Okay. People need help. People need help. And it's just like this, taking the next step to get your legal status. But for divorces, when people are abused, it's a really unfortunate thing, because you feel like, well, not you, but like, I know a lot of my clients, I felt like they're all alone in this. Not even their own parents would help them, because especially if they're not in the situation. Okay. They're not the ones getting abused. So we really need a help. If you know someone who is in this kind of situation, of course, there's ways to help them legally, but just being available, by phone, text, um, sharing some resources like a nonprofit agency. There's so many nonprofits out here in America to help with this kind of scenario. So that's my PSA for today on that. Okay, back to Anu. When 180 days ban trigger overstay within USA for 180 days. Yeah. As soon as you depart, as soon as you apply for new visa. Okay, I think you're asking when. Yeah, when does? Yeah, that's your first question. When does 180 day or even 365 day trigger the bar? Okay, for this is for unlawful presence, because it's when you step outside of the U.S. It doesn't matter if it's literally the port of entry, 1 foot out. It's going to trigger the bar. Okay, unlawful presence bar. And yeah, it's as soon as you depart. It's not when you're still in the U.S. So even if you've overstayed by 180 days or more, or 365 days or more, it's when you actually physically leave. Okay, that's when it's triggered, and that's when you would need the waiver. Now, if you are in the U.S. and you know that if you were to leave for a visa interview for residency purposes for a green card, then you can apply for unlawful presence waiver. Family Unity Provisional Waiver. They have such a long name. Family Unity Provisional Waiver, 601A. But you need to apply for that before you leave. But unfortunately, not everyone is eligible. If your only family member who has status is a adult child, that person doesn't count as a qualifying relative, unfortunately, even though your adult child can file a petition for you. So, but there are some scenarios like your adult child would file a petition for you, but you have maybe like a resident spouse. And because how things work, this is where you really need a lawyer, strategy wise, is we don't just do the paperwork. It's customer service, providing you legal strategy, really like how we are right now. Okay, so I really like talking about waivers, because it's really where people another situation where someone could get stuck. Okay, because if someone leaves, they see the visa interview scheduled and they leave, they trigger the 10-year bar. You can apply for a waiver outside the US, but then you have to wait longer. Freaking the waiver before the pandemic was at least taking 8 months in our case experience. And now after the pandemic, it's 24 months. Okay. It's 24 months. It's ridiculous. It's a long time. So we file lawsuits on that too. Just because it says 24 months or whatever it says on a processing time schedule on the USCIS website does not mean that is a reasonable time period. Okay. Let's see here. Abita, you said you agree. You did not want to get married, and your parents just told me. I'm so sorry to hear that. Then your sister did the same thing when you're in a domestic violence situation. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's why we got to talk about this more often. So I'll start trying to do that more often on social media, so more people can get unstuck. Okay, that's what we're talking about here. Just get to the next page of life. Okay, get out of that situation. Napito, you said that. Okay, your DV situation with a arranged marriage. Yeah, I think a lot of Americans in general are always wondering how that works. I've heard of, I guess you can say, I don't want to say I heard of successful arranged marriages because it's like I'm not in their situation. Even if I was friends with someone who had arranged marriage, we're not living in that home. So there's of course is an assumption that we haven't heard any problems. So everything's gravy, right? It's all good. So anyway, thanks for people, y'all folks that are joining live still, that we're still on. We'll try to stay on a little bit longer. And then let's see what else I can share here. Anu, you asked the last question here, and just file waiver when caught. Now, you don't have to be, it's not necessarily when you're caught per se by customs. It's when you file after you file a petition, which it's such a ridiculous timing thing. Like unfortunately, you cannot file the waiver when you file the petition. You have to file the waiver 601A after the petition is approved. And petitions these days take at least 8 to 10 months minimum. We have several clients that are frustrated with this process, and y'all folks on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook saying the same thing. It is very frustrating. That's why we talk about situations where we can file a lawsuit against the government. And I have a bunch of conversations with U.S. attorneys, assistant U.S. attorneys, and they feel bad. They're just helping out any way they can in this situation. But unfortunately, they can't help in every situation. It really depends on the scenario. Okay, Anu, you had another question here. You think overstaying is only complicated with DACA. Otherwise, overstay is overstay. And one can file a waiver when caught with no... Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what you still need to... Yeah, you definitely need an attorney to review the legal strategy. Okay, you might have an idea from watching these videos, tuning in live. I appreciate it, but that you could have more facts that I'm not able to ask about on a live show, for example. So let's see here. Yeah, well, people at DACA, of course, you do have the possible option with applying for advanced parole, and then advanced parole is basically AKA permission to travel. Now, you don't need permission to leave, the U.S., but it's about permission to come back in. Okay, so when you get that travel document, AP, advanced parole, this is the 131 form, by the way. You don't need a lawyer to file this application, but of course, hiring a lawyer helps so we can provide you more legal strategy. So, for example, hot tip here for DACA recipients, DACA holders, you have to have specific reasons to apply for AP and get that approved. It's not just like, I just want to go tour Canada, Mexico, or Spain. You have to have a specific situation. So it could be education reasons, maybe a death in the family. It's stronger if you have a memorial, not just like you're just visiting the grave only randomly. I would recommend, having a letter from a family member abroad where your family's at, to sign off on that, to make your case stronger. Okay. But education program, like if you wanted to study abroad or you had something from work that you had a work conference, something like that. Okay. So it's very important. Anu, you said all my uncles married the ones they loved. You dated and you don't know how much India has changed in 20 years. I've been to India in 14 years. Yeah, that'd be interesting. India has two things: urban India and rural India, diverse. Oh yeah, that's the same thing in America. The urban cities here in America tend to, vote Democrat, whereas the rural areas tend to vote Republican. Thank you so much for sharing this. You were the first one to divorce in your family. Check your aunt's. Oh, I see. Oh my gosh, she still has those photos on her Facebook, your aunt. Well, you gotta stay away from that stuff. Y'all got to find a way to get to the next page in your life. I know it can be difficult. Of course, it's easy for me to say I'm not in your situation. So I'm just here to provide the legal information. Ryu and Alejandro on Facebook, I'll get to you soon. Let me toggle over here on Instagram. Gwenny Rose, thanks for your question. If your lawyer is not returning your calls, 2 years, what the heck? What do I do? I can't go to hold them. Very frustrated. Oh my goodness, I feel so bad for you. Number one, I hope you have a copy of your applications, assuming it's been 2 years, assuming you have an application filed to USCIS. I hope you have a copy. I hope you have a copy of the receipt notice. Make sure your address is updated with USCIS. You can do it online. You can Google search USCIS change of address or USCIS AR 11. Okay. And they have an online form. You can change your address. Okay. Now, the other thing is like your lawyer, they don't have assistants or anything. There's some people out there that hire a lawyer that don't have a support staff or other lawyers. Yeah, I don't know how they get things done. That's kind of crazy. In my opinion, I couldn't imagine being the only person on my team talking to myself. I guess I'm not really talking to myself right now, right? I'm commenting with y'all, even though it's all technically virtual, I guess. So, Gwenny, you need to do that, okay? Check that out. Check out on your receipt notice. A lot of people call it 797C. We just call it receipt notice. Check it out, okay? Find it. If you can't find it, there's a solution. It's called FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, FOIA. And Google search that with USCIS. You could do it on your own too. But of course, we're here to help you if you need it, okay? Because you need to find out. If it's been 2 years, maybe it's still pending, but that would be ridiculous. If it's still pending, then you need maybe file a lawsuit. Consider it. We'll chat with you. Give us a call. And our number is down below, by the way, okay? On YouTube, it's up here. Go to our website. We do have, if you're just joining in, you didn't know this, we welcome to greencardguys.tv. We do offer free 15-minute preliminary discussion to really answer questions like this. Like, because you might be watching but not feel comfortable to share this kind of information. For those who have shared information on YouTube or these social media, thanks for being vulnerable so that, I can try to point you in the right direction. But if you don't want to share on comment here, that's okay. Give us a call and we offer free 15 minutes because you might have a question like this that you're like, do I need to pay a lawyer $150 or even $50? Some people charge $50. I don't know. But we do it for free. Okay, we're here to point you in the right direction. Okay, prevent you from having legal problems here. Okay, yeah, family mess. It's very, very difficult. Can you report Gwenny? Can you report him? I don't know. Maybe he died. I mean, there's no point in reporting in that sense. If he did something, well, of course, it's important to update clients. So check him. You probably did this, but check him out on social media. Does he have any social media? I mean, there's some lawyers out there that need to get up to speed on the 21st century, okay, and sharing information. They think that keeping everything close to them, like not sharing, is like a way to like get new clients, and like think I don't know. It's just weird. I speak at legal conferences, and it's just kind of strange. People are still thinking in the 20th century. Okay, Bobster KB, what's the best way of getting green card when you start from scratch? I would need to know if you have a family relationship or maybe you have a company that's willing to sponsor you. But there are situations where, there is a category for EB, and it's called extraordinary ability. Now, it's not like you have to have some kind of superpower, like Marvel or something or anything like that. But, you might have some extraordinary ability. It doesn't have to be only the arts, doesn't have to be science related. It can be also business. Okay. If you have a startup business, or not even startup, but maybe you've had a business for a while. Now, the thing is, you have to, if you're in the US already, you need to have non-immigrant status right now to apply for this. Okay. Unfortunately, the law only allows for an EB 180 days, up to 180 days of unlawful presence by the time you have your green card interview or you have your 485 filed and to conclusion. Only 180 days. Congress needs to update that. Come on. And that's without filing a waiver. But of course, to be eligible for waiver, you need a parent mom or dad, or a spouse to file for you, okay, to be a qualifying relative. They don't have to file the waiver. You file the waiver, but you have to have a qualifying relative. So if you don't have that, or if you do, then in that sense, then you might think, well, shouldn't I just have my family member file for you in general, the petition? So there are several options out there. Okay, we do offer free guides. By the way, this is a great segue. We do offer free guides, and I'll share with y'all on YouTube. Check it out right here. Okay, download the free guide on our website, greencardguys.com. All right. On Instagram, I know that's kind of weird, but on YouTube, you can find this popular guide about mandamus, for example, but also for employment and family based. It shows all the different options out there, okay, to get an immigration benefit like a green card. Pita, you said you were pregnant at the time with your child. More power to you for being a single parent. I'm married and have 2 little kids, and even being married, it is difficult to manage children. Then your lawyer, you paid 1,000. He could not help you. You kept paying your lawyer. Okay, well, you're welcome, Bob, sir. You did not want the same lawyer. Yeah, you can change lawyers. Because I think you said earlier that you're divorced now, so maybe you already did this. Maybe you apply for VAWA or U visa. Okay, you might want to consider it. So it doesn't have to be physical abuse, by the way. You know, a lot of folks unfortunately suffer emotional abuse, especially from parents and or their children. Which, by the way, y'all might not have known this. You can apply for VAWA, a Violence Against Women Act, whether you're a male or a female gender. They don't discriminate that. But the common misconception here is that the abuse has to have been a spouse, by a spouse. It doesn't have to be just a spouse. It could be from your child, or it could be from your parent. Okay, that by itself is breaking news. Okay, so most people don't know that. So if there's a way we can point you in the right direction, please let me know. Smash the hearts and the like buttons. Let's see, another question. Champion, you said boyfriend tourist visa. Your boyfriend's tourist visa was revoked for assumption of potentially get married. 2 years later, can I get this dismissed? So you can't remove that information from the system in that sense, like a crime or something, getting that expunged. But not saying that this is a crime or anything, but champion, if your spouse is abroad, your boyfriend, this is your boyfriend. If you have not gotten married and you want to sponsor your boyfriend, you can do that. You don't even have to get married in person. Okay. Hot tip. Oh my gosh. Speaking about all this Tinder stuff, we have a spammer right now. That's probably a bot on YouTube saying new adult dating chat. Oh my gosh. How do I report this person? Block. Okay. They're trying to take advantage of the situation. So back to your question, champion. You can if you're considering to get married, you don't necessarily have to do the fiance visa. You can get married remotely. And hot tip, the state of Utah, a specific county, state of Utah, allows for remote marriages. We've gotten cases approved based on that. So here's the deal. Contact us. Okay, we can share more information on it. So, I mean, of course, you can Google search it, but if you want us to save you some time, if you want to save time in general, okay, contact us. You can answer the form down below. Go to our website, greencardguys.com. And this is how you do it. I can show you on YouTube. All right, how to get there. Okay, go there, click on take quiz, or click on contact us, take quiz. You're really just answering a couple questions. We can point you in the right direction, and it'll take you to the next page to self-schedule an appointment. Look, we try to make it as easy as possible for you, but even when you self-schedule appointment, one of our CARES members will try their best to call you within 24 hours and then point you in the right direction, okay? And see if they can schedule you for a consultation if you want one, or maybe you just want a free guide. No problem at all. All right. Abita, you said you got that. Yeah, when it sounds like you did file VAWA, okay, because your husband hit you, and yes, domestic violence. I'm so sorry. And oh my goodness, you were pregnant with your child. No, we definitely, that's why our team has core values. We don't condone the clients that have been arrested for that kind of situation. We don't offer services for that. There's plenty of other lawyers that can help them. We believe that, of course, people should treat each other with respect, even of course, in their own relationship. Makes sense, right? Hey, what's going on? By the way, one of our associates just joined, Terry, and if you want to follow our team, you can follow our green card guys _ Terry. Okay, and thanks for tuning in. Let's see. I think I have. Oh, that's right. Sorry about that, Alejandro. And Ryu. Okay, I think I'm losing my voice. I need to drink some water, tea. All right, Ryu, you've been separated with your wife since 2007, and she's never been in the U.S. I want to remarry with you, a citizen here. Okay, well, separated sounds like you're not divorced yet, so you need to get divorced, number one. Okay, and if you are in Texas, we can point you in the right direction with lawyers here. Of course, when we refer people, we really try to refer more than one attorney, because it just depends on your personality or our personality, right? You got to make sure you find someone that you like. And is there any possibility that if you can do an uncontested divorce without her signature? It is possible for sure. But if you want to make it easy and without having to serve your wife, by the way, you've been served. You got to, or was that movie? You Got Served. Anyway, the legal definition of service, a process, means that you have to give, you as in like someone else that has the credentials here in America, for example, but yours is not here in America. So it'd be probably more expensive, right? You have to hire someone abroad to serve her and get that. What they do is they get that documented. Now, if you don't know where she lives, maybe you lost track, you maybe message her on Facebook, which I recommend. Just let her know, hey, I'd like to get divorced. I can do that here in America. You don't have to pay any fees. Do you mind signing this waiver of service? Because that will prevent you have to paying more fees to serve her. So serving essentially means that you're giving legal notice to the other person that, in this situation, you're getting a divorce. So, yeah, it is possible. But let's say that she doesn't respond to the Facebook message, or she does, but she doesn't want to sign a legal document. Then screenshot that, okay? And tell the judge, not tell the judge in the moment, but you have it, write it down on paper, affidavit. If you have a lawyer, of course, they'll guide you on this, but it is possible to get divorced, even if whether or not your spouse signs a document or not. That's a whole other channel to go into talking about divorces. But of course, you need to get this done, Ryu, before we can help you on the next step of getting, sponsored by a U.S. citizen. Okay. And by the way, in Texas, there's by default a law that says you have to wait 30 days after getting divorced. Now, you can also, if you have a lawyer, they can help you add in a clause in there that says you want to waive those 30 days. Of course, some people might say, well, why in the world would you get married so soon? But we've had a lot of clients in the past that have been separated for so long. So, but maybe you just got divorced recently. Let's see here. Hopefully that helps, Ryu. Okay, Alejandro, you're next. Great crowd today on a Friday, TGIF. What are y'all up to this weekend, by the way? Where y'all watching from? Let me know. Hey, what's up? What's up? Waving at y'all on Instagram. Okay, new officer warden. I will get to you very soon. I see your question. That's a very good one. Alejandro, you're up next. Hello, can I help you? My sister is waiting for a new green card for over a year. Hey, what's up, Mr. Jason? Nice to see you. Smash the like button, smash the hearts. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Your sister's waiting for a new green card for over a year, and the receipt letter shows for 12 months has already expired. Thanks for smashing the hearts. Appreciate it. For 12 months. and already expired. Okay. You heard USCIS has sent letters for 24 months, but let's see, your next question. Waiting for a new green card? What do you mean waiting? Let's see what else you said. But she didn't get it. She called. Okay, so it sounds like already approved, Alejandro. Let me keep reading because you had a couple more comments here. She called and talked with a representative to schedule an appointment, but they said they will call her back to set appointment. You heard some people wait over 30 days and nothing. Okay, nothing happened. Okay, so Alejandro, it sounds like your sister has already been approved for the green card. Appreciate the love. Appreciate it. Smash the like button. Smash the hearts. The and by the way, follow me on TikTok, Green Card Guys _John. Was she Alejandra? Was she approved for 45, or did she come over from consular processing abroad? Because that would definitely help me understand. Because if you're coming from abroad, or renewal, green card. Oh, her new green card renewal. So you mean she filed an I-90? You filed an I-90, or Alejandro, your sister filed I-90? Can you clarify that, or a 485? Sounds like I-90 now. Oh, ooh, Anu, I see your comment there. Okay, renewal. Yeah, unfortunately, I-90. Yeah, I-90. Okay, that's what you said. Thanks for clarifying that. Ooh, boy. Yeah, I-90. We all hate that sucker. Okay, Alejandro, tell your sister to apply to become a U.S. citizen. Because sounds like it's been more than 2-3 years by now. The I-90 is very notorious for taking a freaking long time. And I feel bad, but like, you may have to file, I mean, try not to file a lawsuit quite yet for that. But even though I-90s are just renewals, so you would think rubber stamp approved. But if your sister, depending on if she got her residency through a U.S. citizen spouse, and she's still married to that person, then it's been 3 years. She can apply to become a citizen. Now, let's say she got status through a U.S. citizen, but she's no longer with that person, divorced, separated. Then you have to file to become a citizen after 5 years. Now, when I say after 5 years, technically you can file within 90 days before that 5-year mark, or even 90 days before the 3-year mark. Okay. So Alejandro, I don't like to make assumptions here, but in the situation that you're already in the U.S., whether or not you're in the U.S., your sister can file a petition for you after she becomes a U.S. citizen. So I know it's frustrating right now waiting for the green card, but she might as well file to become a citizen. Okay. So maybe that can help you out there. And then Warden, let's see. I don't know. Do I touch that? There we go. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Your question, how many years ban I get for getting deported? It's 10 years, but you can apply for a waiver. I mean, assume, again, I don't like to assume, but if you have a qualifying relative, depending on the reason specifically, but typically if you have a parent or a spouse who's a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent resident, okay? And so hopefully that helps. Okay, I think I just touched that and it goes away. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Oh, Alejandro, she's single, and you think this is her third time renewing? Okay, it's third time renewing. Then that means she's probably been a resident because the card, if she didn't get their marriage in the card, yeah, it's probably been what, 20, 30 years she's been a resident. It's time. Tell your sister to file to become a U.S. citizen. Advise her. Okay, advise, not tell. Advise. Okay, I know when it's sibling talk, sometimes siblings don't always get along. I have a little girl and a little boy now, so I get it. I have to be more mindful of that. Man, it is challenging to parent a kid. Y'all have kids? Let me know in the comments. Any parents out there? More power to the single parents. My goodness. I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all like super mom, super dad. But Alejandro, Just tell your sister, I'm sorry, advise your sister become a US citizen. So it's like a birthday gift for yourself. Maybe you can get status later on, which that's a whole other topic. Okay, Alejandro, if you want to chat about legal strategy on that, I talk about it almost every day, other day, but it's a long answer. But go to our website, give us a call up there. Okay, we'll see if we can help you. I do want to read out what Anu wrote on YouTube. Then I got to hop off. I got about 4 more minutes to give you an idea. I'm just going to share the secret code very soon so you can unlock those free 15 minutes. Oh no, you said American pyramid is different. I guess you mean the family structure. Folks have tons of marriages and divorce. Yeah, out in the corporate world here. Oh, okay. Inside a corporate structure, most VPs. Ooh, interesting. Oh, wow. Interesting. You literally mean the corporate world in America. Yeah, divorces. That's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Most VPs have just one spouse. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, Anu, you said like weed in America, everyone can afford it. Weed rolls high in India. Weed rolls in India is highest ending clubs. Oh, it's all over the place in the high end clubs and parties only. Only celebrities can afford parties like these. Interesting. We don't get often comments like this, but yeah. Is it legal in India, by the way, or Pakistan and any other in a South Asian country? That's interesting. By the way, let me know in the comments what you think. Regardless, you're Democrat or liberal or conservative, do you think marijuana, weed should be legalized? Would would it be a good tax benefit for America, for your city, for your local area, so that maybe it could improve beautification in your city, something like that? Okay, I don't know. People just think about it on the benefits only, health benefits, or maybe lack of health benefits. I don't know those health studies. Okay, thanks Terry for your comment. Appreciate it. Uh, uh, Amada lit. Amada lit. Are you gonna lit it up? Apparently, that's a new phrase too. I'm trying to follow this pop culture. What are the chances to be approved for citizenship if your 751 is still pending for three? Oh my gosh, 3 years. Okay. By the way, I'm gonna lit it, lit it up. The USCIS just updated this, or at least I'm a part of the. I'm a member of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, so that is the main attorney immigration lawyers association, and we do receive information from the agencies and local area here, and um, we do get what do you call we do get information from them to say recently they just said that even if you get scheduled for N400 for citizenship, not to become a U.S. citizen, but you have not been approved for 751, and it's a joint application with your spouse, make sure to have your spouse come to the interview for N400. I know it's weird to do that because you typically N400 is only for you as an individual, but if your 751 has not been approved, they're going to make a decision on it at the same day. And they, again, US being a world superpower, they're not efficient. So you would think that the notice would say, hey, by the way, you got 751 pending too. So bring your wife, bring your spouse, bring your husband. No, they don't do that. So we're letting you know on social media to do that. Okay. So hopefully that helps. Oh, now I see your next comment. No more with spouse. Okay. I'm gonna let hot tip right here. If you filed originally your application like as a waiver without a spouse, make sure that you got divorced. And then if you haven't provided that divorce order, you need to bring it to the interview. But even before the interview, you need to file a new application 751. So, or at least provide it, mail it to USCIS, your updated applications for 751. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Champion, you live in Oh, you live in California, Humboldt County. Legalization has killed your economy. Interesting. Interesting. I've never heard it that way. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, most people assume that because of tax reasons or whatnot, tax increasing the tax base, that could be a benefit. But yeah, let me know. Let me know if you don't mind elaborating a little bit on that. Okay, because people need to know, and of course we don't want to make assumptions. So basically, sorry that your county has to be a case study, essentially. I wonder. I wonder if that means because people are spending money only on weed versus like things they actually need. I don't know, but I'm always interested to learn. Okay, you did give a modelit. You did give the divorce decree, great, and you applied again on your own, 71, and apply for Ed 400. Okay, good. So I'm glad they have it because would hate for you to go to the interview and then they're like, oh, you didn't tell us about the divorce. So that's good. And I'm gonna let you need to be ready just in case USCIS asks you for more evidence about your marriage during the time that you were a conditional resident. Okay, you never know when they could ask. So hot tip there. We're all about sharing tips and tricks so to prevent you from having immigration problem and prevent one from first place. But if you do have immigration problem, we're here to help you. We're the immigration problem solvers. And find us on greencardguys.tv. Okay, on YouTube, I can share the secret code. And if you're on Instagram, appreciate the love. Thanks for following here. Check us out on greencardguys.tv. That's our YouTube channel and also our website. And here on YouTube, I can share our benefits of hiring our team. Number one, just as is, I think Gwynny mentioned here, should I report my lawyer because they haven't called back in 2 freaking years? We answer the phone. Can you believe that's a benefit of hiring our team? Of course, among many other things, we answer the phone. My goodness. But we do share documents. Anything that we file to the government, we're transparent. You can ask any of our clients that tune in here as well. We share a Dropbox folder. We might actually change vendors here, but we share a cloud folder with you. You know exactly what we filed, whether it's a lawsuit or it's a marriage case or employment. You know everything so that you don't even have to call to ask for, hey, what did you file? When did you file? Which, by the way, we update you. Okay, so I get a little excited about this stuff. I talk at legal conferences about this because lawyers need to step up to provide customer service. Wouldn't you agree? Smash the like button if you agree with that stuff. Lawyers need to provide better service. Now, there are some great lawyers. I'm in a group with other great lawyers, and we're just always promoting each other in terms of like helping each other's practices, help each other's business because it is difficult. It's difficult, okay? Just like any other company, it's difficult to manage one. But yeah, anyways, we're here to help. Okay. You go to our website, greencardguys.com. You can see that we list out the benefits. We even help you from start to finish or even in the middle of a case. Look, just like I think Winnie Rose said that, if it turns out that we can assist you and your case is still pending, for example, we can take over a case and help you out because especially when the scenarios that we can help in the middle of a case, for example, is you receive a request for evidence or a request for notice of intent to deny. And usually when you get an NOID letter, it's basically the government saying, look, we're probably going to deny you, but we're going to give you a 1% chance to change your mind. Knock on wood every time we've got it approved. Okay, when we take it over. Now, can't promise for you, but we really investigate. We have a conversation with our clients to say, hey, tell me about your life. And we ask you follow-up questions. Imagine that, having a phone conversation with people, with each other. Like, I don't know what's up with lawyers. Some lawyers like saying, just like send me your letter and that's it. Like, I don't know, just mind-boggling. But anyways, I can go on my rant some other day. It's TGIF. Have a great one. I appreciate it. And have a wonderful weekend. Okay? Take care now.